Hello everyone, I'm Sadek and this is GameMech Archive. In this series, the idea is to create Doctor Octopus Arms inside Unreal Engine using spline meshes. Before we start, just make sure you downloaded the models I created for this project. You can find the link in the description. Okay, first I'm going to create a new blueprint. Now let's add a spline mesh component. If you are not familiar with the concept, spline mesh is something similar to a skin mesh, but instead of bones and animations, you manipulate the mesh using a curve or a spline. We need a mesh, so let's select OCT arm body from the models. So this is our mesh. Also, there are a bunch of parameters to change that control the points of the spline. But most importantly, make sure you change the mobility to movable. Okay, just so you know, there is this option to see the points and move them manually, but it is really buggy, so forget that for now. To control this spline mesh, I'm going to create a spline. This will give us more control and flexibility over the parts of the arm. Now let's go inside the construction script and get the values of these 2 points of the spline using this node. We need one for the point 0 and another for point 1 of the spline. And then use these values to set the start and end parameters of the spline mesh. For each point, you need the location and the tangent. Okay, as you can see, we now control the spline mesh by moving or rotating the points of the spline. So far so good. Now that we have the main body of the arm, let's create the claws.
The claw!
I add a scene component as the base of the claws and then put the model of the base as the child. Inside the claw base, I add another scene component and also the model of a claw. This gives us more control. Later, we want to use this system to open and close the claw in Blueprint. Of course, you need to add 2 more claws the same way. Then rotate one around the x-axis about 120 degrees and rotate the third one in the other way. It takes time to place them correctly. Now you can see by rotating each claw around the z-axis, it looks like you are opening and closing them. Now let's place the claws at the end of the arm. To do that, inside the construction script, let's get the location and the rotation of the end point. And then transform the base of the claws accordingly. Okay, now let's see the results. This is very good. Now to open and close the claws, let's add a float variable called claw open. Then set its range from 0 to 1. Now we multiply the claw open by 60 degrees and set that as the Z rotation of all the claws. This way, if the variable is 0, the claws are closed. And as it gets closer to 1, the claws will open. Very cool. And I'm tired of saying the claws. Now, before we bring this octopus arm inside the level, let's set some materials for the models. You can use the beautiful materials inside Unreal's starter contents. Okay, now that we are satisfied with the looks, we can bring our octopus arm into the level. It is very possible to move and rotate the points on the spline to change the shape of the arm. In the next tutorial, I will show you a way to control the arm as the player, using inputs. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Take care and goodbye.